There we go. See that? Now I want to take some more off in here. Okay. And there's some in here that needs to be removed. Just like that. If you just take your time, you get it. It's just, you have to take your time, just like this front leg. This front leg, you have to really be careful on it because it's thin. And you want to be careful not to get too rambunctious and get, you know, ahead of yourself. I say ahead of yourself is what I say. There we go. And just using the tip of the knife, we slowly work that up. Now you can also use your V-tool or your gouge in these areas, in other words. I like to use the knife because I can control the knife. I can control how much pressure is put on the knife. Sometimes with the V-tool, you're not realizing the amount of pressure that you're putting on it, and you run into a lot of issues and a lot of problems. Okay, now one of the things, let's go on to the face here, and one of the things is we want to go ahead and hit this front part right here, okay? On each side, slowly come down with that. And then we want to go in between the ears. Now this area in here is much harder to carve because for some reason, even though the grain runs this way, you're actually going against the grain when you cut these ears this way. So be very careful when it comes to this. And do not take off much at a time. You don't want to overdo it. Okay? See how do you do the V-tool? Just take it easy. And then come up here. Take a little bit off there. A little bit off there. And we want to come here. We want to take some off right here. Very, very slowly, folks. Very slowly. Don't. See how I go from side to side, taking a little bit off, because these are weak areas. When I say weak, I mean they get delicate in here. You don't want to get ahead of yourself and put a lot of pressure on it. Like that, see? Okay. Let me bring that forward. Bring that forward a little bit. And we come back here and we just kind of run those ears up like that. We come in here and just kind of flip that knife in there. See how you're flipping it just like that? Your ears are not pointed. There. Like that. Bring them. This is where you got to be careful. This is so thin in here. You have to watch your grain. You really do. And we're going to come even a little bit more in here. Take some off. Some in here. Making that head stand out. See, this is kind of where the eyes are in here. Just like that. And this you bring down, just like that, and there. And then you sort of, from each side, make that sort of move right there. There we go. We kind of get that okay. And then we just sort of each side go up like that. See that? Okay. Now here you want the ears to come just like that, and the ears to come like that, and then from the back side you have this right here And you have that right there. Just trying to separate the ears a little bit from the thing. I think I'll bring these ears down a little bit more. Just like that. There we go. I'm sorry. I have to shift myself. Not sift myself, but shift myself. That's why I say knife control is so important, folks. Don't feel that because I have a carving glove, I can just do whatever I want to. That I can just, you know, do whatever I want to any way I want to. That carving glove is going to protect me. No, it will not. The best thing you can learn is control of the knife. Learn to control that knife. Do that for sure. Okay, now all I'm going to do is take just the edge of my knife and come here and just cut a little V right in there. Then I'm going to come back with my V tool, but I just want to start it right there. Just like that. Just trying to start it. I'm going to bring that down a little bit more. The ears on a bear are not real, you know, big. They're small. Okay. Okay. Just taking that edge off there. Okay. Same thing here, just taking the edge off there. And these, you make these little small cuts, just kind of defining the leg right here. And especially in here, we want to take off some in there. There we go. This little area right here is real hard to get into. I gotta actually use my V tool in there. What I could do. Okay. Okay, see that? Now let me get my V tool here. Oops, wrong one. That's not my V tool. That's my gouge. You take your V tool and you hold the back of your ears like this, and you just go in there with your V tool. There we go. Now, those ears are still too tall. They're too big. They've got to come down some more. And then get your V tool in there. There you go. There we go. Just come back here. Scrape that forward. Just to be on the safe side. A lot of this is probably kind of hard for you to see as I get in between these legs and scrape this. I'm just getting more distance between the legs is all as you work on the inside of the legs. All right, it's looking good. This is a little afternoon project, folks. Just something that you can have fun with and go with. But you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. With what you do. When these areas come, all right, that's basically it. It's just forming the piece, forming the animal. Just like that. Let me get my V-tool in here. There we go. See, clean up some of that. Go. Kind of flip that a little bit in there. Take the V-tool and just work that. There it goes. Get it all. Sometimes you just have to take your little V-tool and work some areas out that you want. All right. Well, let me go wet him. Just a minute. Hard to get up sometimes. Okay. Sometimes when you wet them too, you can get to those areas a lot better and know that they're not going to break. Softening this wood, but also remember when you soften the wood like that, you also make it more vulnerable to break. So you want to be careful. There we go. Okay. All right, well, come down here. Cut that in, here we go. Cut that in there. Bring that forward.